With a smug air of triumph, Jenna Griswold, Colorado Secretary of State, claimed to be speaking from the moral high ground when she disagreed with the recent unanimous Supreme Court decision to keep Trump on the ballot.
My larger reaction is disappointment. I do believe that states should be able, under our Constitution, to bar oath-breaking insurrectionists.
My larger reaction is disappointment at the SCOTUS ballot ruling. Colorado should be able to bar Donald Trump from our ballot. He is still an oath-breaking insurrectionist, opined Griswold, also slamming the unanimous decision of the U.S. Supreme Court.
So ultimately, it will be up to the American voters to save our democracy in November.
She stands on the unproven belief that Trump incited a violent mob, which the left calls an insurrection, to rush the Capitol to try to stop the transfer of power. Griswold wants democracy to be intact and feels Trump and MAGA Americans are a threat to democracy. Now, Rachel Maddow, an openly gay television commentator, also prided herself on maintaining a high standard for broadcasting. She explained why MSNBC deferred coverage of the Trump speech. Maddow is sure that Trump's speech will, quote, be a litany of lies and false accusations. It hurts our image to broadcast what we know to be untrue, close quotes. Meanwhile, U.S. Rep. Harriet Hageman, Republican from Wyoming, says the Bidens are, quote, the most corrupt family ever in a position of power, a level that is so far beyond what we have seen with previous political leaders, close quotes. Hageman was chosen by her state's voters in a literal landslide to replace the ejected Rep. Liz Cheney in the last election. Cheney colluded with Democrats and ex-House Speaker Nancy Pelosi to release a narrative about the January 6, 2021 riot at the Capitol that targeted Donald Trump with blame. Hageman's comments came after she was part of a House grilling of Hunter Biden in an investigation into whether Joe Biden committed impeachable offenses. The exchange with Hunter Biden included questions about his status as a crack cocaine addict while he was serving on the board of Ukrainian energy company Burisma and receiving a salary of about $1 million a year. Hunter Biden is facing gun charges since he purchased a firearm and stated that he was not under the influence of drugs when in fact he was. Lying on a federal form is a serious crime. Jenna Griswold and Rachel Maddow need to pray that America does not go to war and some Farsi-speaking soldier comes knocking on their doors. Under the Biden administration, America has lost its ability to win a major war in the assessment of many military experts. Across most branches of the U.S. military, recruitment numbers continue to plummet. As is widely known, a lack of trust in senior military leadership, as well as woke ideology, now plagues America's armed forces. On a daily basis, news media around the world broadcast images of drug lords and cartel leaders mocking America. Our commander-in-chief has become an emblem of American impotence. Indeed, in the words of the scripture, righteousness exalteth a nation, but sin is a reproach to any people. From the Biden administration's enthusiastic support for amputating body parts of troubled children to its obsession with bringing as many millions of illegal aliens as possible into America, it is becoming more and more evident that many of America's leaders are cocaine addicts, which is a more socially acceptable way of saying they are demon-possessed. How else can you explain such bizarre and nation-destroying behavior as they exhibit? The United States has always been innovative in the airline industry. The latest innovation is, quote, Alien Airways. It offers nonstop flights for illegal aliens from South America to more than 40 U.S. destinations. While sanctuary cities like Chicago and New York are being flooded with illegal aliens, these cities and others like them ought to be screaming about the 300,000 plus illegals the Biden administration has secretly flown into America at taxpayer expense. Billionaire entrepreneur Elon Musk has warned, quote, The groundwork is being laid for something far worse than 9/11. So in case any of my viewers are tempted to agree with Jenna Griswold and Rachel Maddow, we close this segment of headlines from the End Times with a clip from Donald Trump's pre-buttal to Biden's State of the Union address.
Joe Biden is on the run from his record and lying like crazy to try and escape accountability for the horrific devastation he and his party have created. All the while, they continue the very policies that are causing this horror show to go. We cannot take it any longer as a country. Joe Biden's sad excuse for a State of the Union address aside, here are the facts. When I left office, we gave Joe Biden the most secure border in U.S. history. We gave him remain in Mexico, very tough to get, but I got it. Safe third agreements, the asylum ban, Title 42, 571 miles of border wall, rapid deportations, and much more. We had the safest border in the history of our country. As soon as he got in, Crooked Joe and his radical left lunatics deliberately dismantled each and every one of those policies that were so good, that gave us this best border. According to Tom Homan, according to Brandon Judd, the top people, they said it was the single best border we've ever had in recorded history. What's happened now is a horror show. The country, our country, is being laughed at all over the world. Over the past 3 years, Biden has actively aided and abetted the importation of millions and millions of illegal alien migrants and resettled them into your communities. At any time during the past 3 years, Crooked Joe Biden, and he is crooked as you can be and the most incompetent president we've ever had, could have called off the invasion. But to this day, he is keeping the hordes of illegal migrants and illegal aliens pouring into the country. By the time his term is up, we could have close to 20 million people in our country. And we have no idea from where they come. We have no idea who they are. They have no identification. Many come from mental institutions. Many come from prisons. They're terrorists. We have a calamity the likes of which we've never seen before. The very first bill Joe Biden sent to Congress was a plan to turn illegal aliens into voting citizens. That's just what we need. No matter what Crooked Joe says, his actions prove his priority is to import a colossal new illegal alien population and let them all stay. My priority is securing our border and sending Crooked Joe's illegals back home. Likewise, the sight of a feeble Joe Biden talking about shrinkflation, the term he uses, is one of the most ridiculous things this country has ever seen. Shrinkflation is just another way of saying inflation. It means that you're losing a lot of money because these people don't know what they're doing. It was all caused by Crooked Joe Biden and the people that surround him, and they are radical left, Marxists and fascists and communists and socialists. We have people running our country, the likes of which we have never seen before. He and the communists and his party looted trillions of dollars from you and spent it on illegal aliens and the Green New Scam, triggering the highest inflation in many, many decades. If your packages are getting smaller, that's the reason why, under my leadership, there was no inflation. We had the greatest economy in the history of the world. It's time to tell Crooked Joe Biden, you're fired.